If you like yes people, then probably you're not in the right field.
Why you have to say it like that? So I've been a fan of Walk and Talk from he was doing it with Demarco. And then he would have come up out of the gutter now and went on
Jaii Frais podcast.
You say it. I used to listen to Valiant so much. I just feel like the music is just so similar. They sound the same.
5 years later, a song now I'm playing now because nobody now want to listen to that.
I don't think like they're thinking longevity. For Shenseea, you know, she always do well in her genre.
Which is dancehall.
But once she steps out, it's okay. We're glad for you, but it's okay. Nobody now go follow me. Never send out one whole broadcast if people come out. We can't bother for your big people. I would jump with Exodus next year. I would safely say that they would get my coins next year.
Yeah, 100,000.
There must be some ones that are cheaper than that.
Open Chxt Podcast.
Welcome to Open Chxt Podcast, everybody. This week we're having a regular unfiltered conversation, and our special guest host is Jannel.
Hi everyone.
And Jannel is from The Truth is Real podcast.
Yes, with Walk and Talk.
And Jannel and I been friends for a little while. Actually had a clothing store, and you know, Jannel supported the store, and then when I saw Jannel on Walk and Talk podcast, I'm like, let me message this person, because I'm not sure if it's the same person.
Yeah.
And she said it was her. And then same time, Jannel said, you know, I support your store again. So the world is small, and we're just happy to have Jannel on the podcast this week. And, you know, before we get into our free talk, you know, we have to invite God into this. And this week Bible verse is from Jeremiah 17 verse 5. This is what the Lord say. Cursed is the one who trusts in man, who draws strength from mere flesh, and whose heart turn away from the Lord. So, in all honesty, we just not supposed to put all our 100 in a man. We just remember that God is always at the helm of everything, and that's why with having faith in God, we decided to start this podcast. And if we didn't do that, probably I would be ping-ponging, doing whatever. But I finally started it, so put trust in God. First thing I say, God, huh?
Yeah, I have a leap of faith.
Yeah, man. So, Jannel, first thing, you did the carnival.
Yeah, I was.
You know, so since I start go deep into the faith, I kind of restrict myself from these things. So I wasn't at carnival. So what was the experience like?
Well, this was my first time going, and I wasn't one of the revelers, like, you know, all dressed up and costume and so forth. I was one of those persons where I'd go there yearly and stand up at the roadside and just watch what go on. Yeah,
sidelines.
I was a sideline girly, but it encouraged me to say I want to be in the crowd girly next year. Let's see how that goes. I can safely say there were 3. You would call it bands? Mm-hmm. Yeah, bands. 3 bands.
Yeah, man, Gen X and
Yard Mass. Gen X and Exodus.
Exodus, yes.
Right.
Last year I was at Gen X.
Yeah, Gen X. I was behind their truck for quite some time, and they did well. From like the British Embassy turn on that JPS road there. I think.
Yeah.
So we were there till up to Porsche, and then we said I wasn't feeling it anymore, and then we moved on to Exodus. And we pick up right back at JPS and went down to YMCA side.
So you was just a free roamer?
So yeah, I just was a free roamer, but definitely I'm not telling a lie. But I would jump with Exodus next year. Like just the comparison between the 2 bands that I was walking with, I would safely say that they would get my coins next year.
Yeah, 100,000.
Well, I don't know if there must be some ones that are cheaper than that. But the figures that I see when I see the TikTok girlies doing the breakdown and so forth, I'm like, really? Yeah, really?
Yeah.
And that doesn't include like
Makeup.
yeah,
And the hairstyle.
yeah,
And the photo shoot.
yeah,
And
yeah.
the sneakers and all these things.
They pay those people out by Emancipation to do those photo shoots?
I don't
Or you
know.
feel like them carry somebody?
No, man, they carry them people, man.
Yeah. I sat down waiting in the night to see my favorite girlies at the end of the night to post their pictures, and I can say definitely Shenseea. Yeah, she took it in terms of her carnival outfit, I should say.
So I watched the episode where you and Walkie was going through the girls and stuff, and he was grading 7 out of 10 and all of these things.
Yeah, man, she get 10 out of 10.
She get 10 out of 10.
She get 10 out of 10. Hands down.
So Carnival was it for you?
Yeah, Carnival was it for me, and definitely, if nobody ever watched this from Exodus, I don't mind being an ambassador.
You hear that, guys? But the truth is real. I have a big host right here, you know, so sponsor. There's a sponsor. But personally for you though, what does Carnival means to you?
I feel like I'm following people, if I'm being honest. Because I'm not a soca junkie. I'm not going to go to the, I don't know what you call these events when leading up to Carnival. I think there's a name for it. No, like different events. Like you would say a play mass or something like that. I think
it's probably that.
So I'm not that type of person. I'm definitely a rockative, a hip hop, dancehall junkie. So soca is really out of my scope.
You sound very much like me.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was supposed to work there, I'm like, why am I here? Because I don't like soca.
And I couldn't tell the genders.
That even worse. Like, I was there and I'm like, guys, nobody come near me because I'm not sure if it's a man or a woman.
Yeah, I couldn't tell the gender. It was hard.
You saw the video with the guy whining on this. I'm like...
And I honestly believe my personal opinion.
I thought that was a woman.
My personal opinion, I think sometimes and if something's supposed to happen, you know, everybody's going to cry wolf now. But I feel like they intentionally do these things. Yeah, to get these things. You should let people know, say, here what, I am this person. Let me make the decision if I want to go ahead and engage into dancing with you.
That's why I always say when I see posting that Jamaica is a homophobic country, I'm like, you need to stop. Because these persons intentionally put themselves in danger.
Yeah, true. Facts.
Why would you go to a public space where no majority heterosexual people is going to be there and you choose to go put yourself in the midst where you see a straight man? And you notice in these videos, it's always the gay people shouting out that, is a man you're whining on?
I've never took deep notice.
If you watch the same video, you hear it.
Yeah, and if it was a certain caliber man, you know, like a dangerous man, and him forgot just do something now, everybody going to cry wolf. No, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have. You know what? We not look more well. Okay.
But the funny thing, when I talk the truth, even the same persons who are heterosexual who like these people, they will come at you and cancel you.
Yeah. Jamaica is indulging in cancel culture, you know, believe it or not.
Very much so. So I'm glad me hear a female say it because when we say it is like people don't believe us, but it's true.
It is, yeah. Because my interview that I would have done with Rosalie, I felt that. I felt like persons wanted to cancel me before me even start, just by being my own opinion. And I don't know if I can do that because my personality is just to speak the truth.
Yeah.
And many persons do find it like it will rub them the wrong way. And many persons liked Rosalie, so, you know, their army came after me too.
And that's my problem. People just want to hear people say what they want to hear. But
it's a sensitive culture now. You have to be very careful. You have to, it's like a child. You're petting a child when it comes on to the space, the media space, and what you want to share, and how can you comment on it. And because even when we were grading the carnival outfits, I had to think, double think, triple think, everything me have to think, because I didn't want to revisit what happened last year. I'm not sure if you remembered what happened last year.
Not sure.
TC TC Perry and so forth graded a female, a very popular female, and that went left for them. So I had to think, triple think, double think.
And they had to come back and apologize.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that, you know. I'm not going to do that. If I'm stating my opinion on something that I don't agree with, why should I apologize for stating the truth?
But then you have to put yourself in the other person's shoes too as well.
But some people love yes people. If you're like yes people, then probably you're not in the right field.
But the culture that we're in, you have to tell me that you don't like my outfit, but you have to choose the words correctly. That you don't like my outfit. So you have different adjectives and different nouns because that is going to be a huge problem for you. And because we adapt the cancel culture slowly but surely, maybe not be a big thing now, but people can just don't want to watch your podcast, and especially who you diss, you know, their little army can just say a lot of things that are bad against you.
But the truth is, shameless plug to your podcast. The truth is, but sometimes you just have to say what you have to say. If they don't like it, they leave. Because the truth is, you need people who can objectively listen to what you're saying and sift through what you're saying and say, okay, fine, I get where you're coming from. But I can understand the other side when some persons go blatant and start diss people. That's a different case. That's not trying to critique something. That's
belittling somebody.
Yeah. So, and then we reach a place where the culture push this dunce thing, and I think people don't even understand what critique is.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, they don't understand what critique is. If you say your shoes that you wear don't match your outfit, somebody say you're a bad mind. Oh, you're a bad mind.
Or why you had to say it like that, or your tone of voice, or, you know. I don't know.
So now, I remember you always said you wanted to do your own podcast, probably about 5 years now. And now that you're on The Truth is Real with Walk and Talk, how did that came about?
So weird. So weird. So I've been a fan of Walk and Talk from he was doing it with Demarco. I'm not sure if you were a fan at that time.
Yeah, man, I know.
That is Talk Your Mind.
Talk Your Mind.
Right. So apart from Vibes Cartel, I would say that Demarco was like second to this whole vlogging thing in Jamaica, introducing that whole vlogging thing to Jamaica, in my opinion, you know. So I used to, every time coming from UTech, I used to watch it because then just sit down there and talk their foolishness. And so that is what would have been my introduction to Walk and Talk. Okay, so then we not hear from Walk and Talk in the streets. And then he would have come up out of the gutter now and went on
Jaii Frais podcast.
You say it.
So wait, though, what you try to say? You are doing on Jaii Frais no good.
On Jaii Frais podcast, and it was such a great duo. I won't lie. Even their departure, it doesn't matter. Still speak the truth.
No, their podcast was good together.
Very, very good. I enjoyed it. I didn't miss one. If I miss one, Walkie wasn't on it.
Okay.
Walkie wasn't on it because I believe that Walkie brought the energy to the show. His conversations are what he had to add on. So, yeah, we know they parted ways, unfortunately. Well, maybe not unfortunately, but they parted ways. And I watch film show and so forth. But it's like, he started with a co-host, and then I wasn't seeing the co-host anymore. And I'm like, what's happening? So one day, I don't know, it looked like the Lord talked to me, I don't know. And me say, he did an interview with The Fix.
Yeah.
And The Fix said, you know, you need to get the co-host and so forth. And I say, yeah, man, me I look, man, and thing. I'm say,
I remember hearing that because I watched that.
I look. I say, all right. So.
And you say, yeah, seek.
And you say, yeah, seek. So I say, okay then, but this maybe I go weird for me just reach out to them or whatever. But nothing try, nothing done. So I would have sent both pages, the Truth is Real page and Walkie's page, you know, that I'm interested and so forth. And then we would have meet up, so forth, in person. And they sieved me out to see if I had they liked my vibes and so forth. And we did an episode, the pilot episode for me. And that would have just created the energy, and it just happened there. I was the co-host right after
I
that.
remember when Walkie bring you on and you say, yo, people, you know, we have a new female on the podcast. You know, Jannel.
And I don't know why you introduced me like that because I not even get to work. I not even get to work at that time. But I guess me get the work. I don't know, so me get the work. But coming on the shoot, that would have been my test run.
And I think one of the things that I enjoyed about the evolution of the podcast is the fact that when you came on, you had a little more structure to the show. As in, now you can see where the conversation is going. While it's still free talk because you know Walkie doesn't seem to use a script, just talk. But then a little more structure add value to the show.
Some added value, for sure. A lot of people like the fact that it was a female co-host and not just a male. It brings a different synergy. I'm able to bring him back if he's straight.
If he's straight too far, which he typically does.
I'm able to bring him back and just create some level of cohesiveness. But overall, to your question though, I wanted to do this for about 5 years, yes. And when I say I'm more for 5 years, but because YouTube is more popular, I know that I wanted to be on TV.
Oh, okay.
Or anything where you can't see me. Me could have been MC, me could have been anything from you can't see me, you know, say I am Jannel. Yeah, me want to do something like that. And Wendy would have been my inspiration. Wendy Williams would be my inspiration. That's why I can, if I'm shading, I will shade exactly like her. But when she had come up, it wasn't that bad. No, it's as we would have talked about before. So, but I just never get around to it because I was scared. You know, I have to give you some form of pat on the back because you went out on a leap and started this podcast where I am sitting there, I'm like, nobody now go follow me. I have to send out one whole heap of broadcast if people come up. We can't bother for your big people and so forth. So that would have discouraged me from venturing on my own and starting a podcast for myself because we can't bother with the big culture. Me personally. But I know that that is a part of it if you want it to become big. And maybe not use the word big, but, you know, ask. So that would have deterred me. So I said, okay, then this opportunity came up. It can be a platform for me. And truth be told, I can even pivot from it. I never know, or start my own thing and persons can come over from. The truth is real and I be on both. Whatever life takes me at.
Which literally was my next question. I know that you always wanted to start your own. Is that still in the works?
No, I'm still afraid. I'm still afraid.
No, man.
I get the leap of faith yet.
No, man, let's take the leap of faith.
I get the leap of faith. I'm still afraid. I'm still afraid, to be honest. I don't know. And then I think it's a lot of work.
Let me tell you. At first, for me, I was scared because as you know, I typically work behind the scenes, behind the camera, doing the editing, not in front of the camera. Yes, I used to be at CVM, but it was still, I used to be at CVM.
Which
I was in the sports.
Sports? Oh, so you do, no, I don't know CVM, sports people like that.
No, I used to do scripting and so on.
Okay.
And eventually somebody had told me that if I cannot edit on their manual machine, which is something that is very outdated, I will never make it in media. And for like 4 years later, that guy saw me coming through the door every day, but I wasn't working for CVM anymore. At the time, we had a barter system with CVM where they had, I think, Hot 102, and it wasn't there anymore. So we had those offices. So we were working from there. And that guy saw me coming through the door every day. I'm probably wondering what was I doing? Cause
no, you're not wondering. You did ask it first.
I end up left the job. No, I left the job.
Oh, okay.
But I was still at CVM.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is that just take the leap of faith. You will never have all the right equipment, because I don't. I started and
I'll you tell.
No, what I'm saying to you, I started, but look where I am at.
Okay.
It forced me to get all these things. All I had was just the microphones and my laptop. And I invest in the lights, and I invest in everything else. And now I have my own stuff. So You just need to start. You don't need to have all the fancy gear. You can just turn on a phone and start talking.
Yeah, man, that obvious. That obvious. When we have a proper camera phone, you know, when we have the proper
Big up
phone.
iPhone, what, that 16?
No, I not do me that part of something. I don't do me that. But the fact when they are 14.
You're lucky me there 12.
I couldn't tell you the case. This guy is a lot.
Well, they look the same way. But yeah, man, I'm encouraging you to go ahead.
Thank you for the encouragement. I believe that by the end of the year into next year, there will be something that I'm doing. Because I really want people to know me. I really want to bring me to some part of the world or some part of Jamaica or the diaspora. Because I think I have so much to offer. And my personality is so big. And I'm so opinionated and I'm so blunt. And I think that persons can buy into me and love me for who I am. So I know at some point.
Come on, me know that.
Thanks.
So them for know that.
I just them for know that, yeah.
So, you know, you and I always talk, and you give me your opinion on the show, which I'm surprised isn't always good.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you the same thing. You do well on Walk and Talk podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're full of yourself, innit? But yeah, man. So let's shift gear a bit. What are your honest thoughts on the current state of music in Jamaica?
In what?
Your honest thoughts on the state of music in Jamaica. Because I'm mainly music you guys talk about over truth is real, innit?
Yeah. I find myself now listening to like songs that I grew up on.
Yeah.
And this is not like 90s dancer because I'm a 90s baby, but I am not a part of that, if you understand. So I find myself going back to early 2000 music and so forth in my playlist because I think after me listening it 1 to 2 times, and of course I'm being exaggerating, me listening about 10 times, but I feel like after listening to about 1 to 2 times, I don't want to listen it anymore. That is not when I'm listening Masicka, because the world knows that I have a deep connection with that gentleman. I don't know what he did to me, but I'm like his biggest fan, like honestly.
No, I'm gonna lie, no. While I'm getting close to God,
right?
I'm going to be honest.
Yes.
Masicka have 2 of the greatest albums that ever come out in recent years of young artists.
You have to put in recent years because
No, not in recent years. Alkaline first album was great, but
are you talking the EP Alkaline did?
It was an EP, the first one with Champion.
It was an EP.
Man, that was awesome. But you see, Masicka's second album, I think that live rent free in my head.
Greatness of Kings?
Yeah.
Yeah, it lives rent free.
I think the topics that he spoke about are just real. Like Black Sheep, the one with Chronicler and Leela Ike, like those topics are real life topics.
And I like the persons. I think he's very structural and very
meticulous with
who he chooses to be a part of his projects. It gives it a different level for somebody to have some level of attention. When you are listening, you want to think deeper. Chronicler is always going to make you think deeper. Leela Ike is always going to make you think deeper.
Artist.
Yes, I got always. So, just pick up somebody who say, oh, I want to be famous. I'm out here doing music. Yeah. He picks up people who make sense. I'm always like that.
Which shows he have a lot of creative freedom in his work, and he put a lot of thought in what he's doing.
And that's good because normally when people are signed to labels, some of those creative juices are pulled out from them. So it seems like he has a very good one, which is pretty good. But you have to go remind me a question because I feel stray a bit. The current music, yeah. So I listen it like 2 times and I don't want to listen it anymore. So it's like I don't, for example, I'm going to use Valiant. I used to listen to Valiant so much. And no, I don't listen to Valiant so much. I'm not listening Donks. I don't listen to the one that he did right after Catch Your Hat. I don't remember what it name. And I just feel like the music is just so similar. They sound the same.
True.
There's no much great direction. It don't make me think. I feel like it's just a 2-week run and then I'm out. Hence the reason I don't even go out like that, and especially to do like weekend parties where you have a party in the morning, you have a party in the evening, because I feel like I'm hearing the same thing over and over. And at the same, I don't want to use nursery rhymes.
The topics are the same.
The topics are the same. I
One
can't.
of dance, a chop, a cap, and
I'm a bit annoyed. So I'm over the rockative side. I'm over the hip hop side, and maybe not even listen to music like that in entirety. I'm more of a podcast person. So I listen the visual podcast and I listen to podcasts on my phone with the Apple Podcast.
Yeah.
Because I think music kind of distract me to a level where I personally don't want to be now. And the type of music that my culture is bringing out is not one that I'm too interested in right now.
I totally get it.
So I just stay on more of a podcast route. One, because I am in podcasts and I want to learn from people who are doing things that I am doing. And two, just to widen my vocabulary, because the persons who I listen to on podcasts, they let my sentences sound different because I'm learning a word or two. I'm learning something that I never knew. And yeah, so I'm not much of the music kind of person.
Like for me, I've drifted more over to the UK music side, where I
Really?
listen to persons like Shenseea, Dave, and so on. Like those guys allow you to think. Especially like a Dave. When I listen to a Dave, like he sings about black is beautiful, black is everything.
That Dave is the guy who did it with Burna Boy?
Yes,
Okay.
Location. Like, come on, like why can't we just try it? Like the topics are what we singing now is just the same thing, and it's like nobody's saying like in the room with them like artists. Yo, me tired for hear that now and I can't sing something new.
But what I heard from a producer one time, they were making a comparison between Squash and someone else. And they're saying that Squash can give you the money because Squash produces hit songs, gives you hit songs, whereas somebody else is not going to give you the hit song. So which one do you want to record? Do you want the money, or you're going to sit and say, I want longevity? In the sense that, yes, the money will come down the road, but Squash are going to give you the money right now. And it might not be the topics that you want to hear, but me, I go get the money right now.
All right. Fine. That's a tough road for. But the artists them need to challenge themselves as well, because what kind of legacy I go build? 5 years later, your song now play now because nobody now want to listen to that.
But I don't think a lot of people are in the business for legacy. I don't think like they're thinking longevity, because where I believe our parents wanted to be that, how you call it, like that Jesus, where when you're dead, when them dead, them have something to give you. It doesn't matter if they live life now. I'm living for my child, right? No, people want to live their own independent lives. So if I can get the money right now, and I don't care about 10 years later because I want to fulfill my now than my later, then they are going to do what they want to do.
Right,
I don't know if we can kill them too.
So let me show you an example where I have an issue with these guys. They always talk about stuff that happened in their community, and that's why they sing it in their songs.
Yeah, what art depicts life or or something like that.
And I have a big issue with that, because not because persons are being killed in your community means you have to sing a song and say you killed somebody. Use Damian Marley as example. One of his biggest songs is In a Gunman World. That speaks about the duality of it, you know. It speaks about...
Are you making reference to Welcome to Jamaica?
No, man.
Oh.
So in a gunman world, he's speaking about like what it means to be a gunman, because he may have no money, so he pick up a gun and go shoot people. But in the song, he's saying, what about the victim? How are they feeling? So it's not just like you listen to the song and it's all like, yeah, I'm going to pick up a gun and kill somebody. But he's saying that, but while you're doing that, are you getting any money? Is anything coming out of it? Is it really doing you any good? What about the victim? When you kill the person, what happened to the family? So the cycle keep happening. So it's like he challenged himself to write a song like that. Why can't our dancehall artists do the same thing? And it wasn't a reggae song, it's a dancehall song, and it's big.
But what if anything Marley sing though, just by the nature of who he is, it's just going to be popularized?
While that is true, but he still sting topical issues.
But don't you think there should be a balance though?
Yeah,
Hence the reason we have reggae and we have dancehall, so we have reggae artists to give out that love, that feeling of wanting to be free, freedom and everything, while the dancehall artists and the nature of the genre is going to naturally speak about violence, going to naturally speak about sex. Sometimes I think we are hypocritical because if they are actually living this life, it's no different from an Eminem and Nas, them telling you about selling drugs on the roadside. It's no different. They're still speaking what they're experiencing.
yeah, but is majority of their songs always that? Because ours seem like that.
No, majority of the songs is not always that.
That's what I'm saying. There has to be some form of balance, even in dancehall. I'm not saying nobody knows to sing it.
Balance doesn't give them money.
They can try. Come on.
Balance doesn't give them money.
They put energy right in a bad man song, and when them write a good song, it's like
We don't listen it.
And no, they don't put energy in it. And when people don't listen it, them say, see it, them not listening. But majority of what you sing is 90% badness.
All right. So, for example, Spice. Even though person said the song is not ideally, but nonetheless, the song that she did, Hell No, what she was doing the school tour on.
Yeah.
She's telling persons, especially students, females, you can say no to stuff. She did put energy around that. It didn't do numbers.
It didn't?
It didn't do numbers. It doesn't do numbers like something like it. It doesn't do numbers like Sheet. She's not going to go out and it doesn't do numbers like Ramping Shop. She's not going to come out and put it on her set on stage because you're not listening it. I think sometimes when we have these conversations, we're very hypocritical because the artists do have balance, yes, but we don't listen when they have balance. And I think maybe because I'm so accustomed to you taking off your clothes. So when you go put on your clothes,
I think that
I have a problem with it.
Because if you start out that way and then 90% of your catalog is that, it's very hard to separate the person that used to sing a lot of this to the person who just sing this today and feel like whatever.
So do you take Marianne Hall serious?
If I...
Because I can't say Marianne and I sing Lady Saw, you know?
You see, because whatever years in is mostly Marianne Hall been out, apart from what the thing was going on Sunfest, Come Kiss Out My Bible thing. It's pretty much Marianne Hall being pushed out. It's still hard to separate Lady Saw from Marianne Hall because most time if you see her, the first thing I go come out your mouth is Lady Saw. So I don't get what you're saying, but she's been actively pushing Christianity, so it's hard to push Lady Saw on her when majority of what she does now is Christianity.
It's Christianity.
But when you're still in dancehall and still doing the same thing and your 10% is just the positive, very hard to separate you from...
Because 10% doesn't pay my bills.
Well, true.
And I want my bills to be paid, so they're going to give consumers what they want to hear. I'm honest, I don't pick up Spice conscious and go listen it. I don't. I go to a protege because I'm accustomed to protege giving me that quality of work. I go to a Yaksta. I go to a Kabaka Pyramid. I don't go to Spice for when me want motivation.
So, quick question. After 2 years of silence from Cofee and she's back on the scene and says she's no original Cofee, what's going on there? What's your opinion?
Yeah. I wonder what the hiatus was for, but sometimes
I just see certain things coming out of that video. I see like she's sitting in the car and giving that little middle finger type of thing. Your expletive coming out her mouth and I'm like, is this a change, Cofee? What's going on? I don't know.
I think based on since being around the podcast and hearing all entertainers talk, the world is not, that industry is not easy. And I feel like, I honestly think she took like a mental break. That's what I honestly think. And everything that she would have heard while in that moment is like, maybe she come out and I tell all of you, and this is who I am, and I am going to stick to who I am. That's what I think. That's what I think happened. I liked the video. I go to Koffee for positive music. I would buy a Koffee album. I haven't bought it, but I would buy a Koffee album. I stream it, but I have no issues with it. I think it's. I love to see that she's back. I love to see the work that she was putting in behind the scenes when on this hiatus. Although person say, I should have the baby and come back and
come on.
I saw it on a
People with
podcast
them
and
rumors and stuff, and not nuggets.
well, she gained a lot of weight in that video. The video we are making reference to.
But 2 years probably sit down and eat food.
I mean, because she should have made a shitload of money in those before, so maybe she just like sit down and enjoy money and just get big.
But I feel like she's more pushing this rap type of vibe though. I know she been on it from beginning, but just feel like she's more doing rapping than reggae. Because I just feel like reggae is changing a lot these days among the new artists.
And I wonder if that is one of the reasons why she's no longer with the label. She wants to do her own creative juices now. Maybe they wanted to trap her in the box of just being that reggae princess. And now she wants to step out like our friend Shenseea to explore other genres to see how it works. I don't think I would have an issue with that. But I think where I have the issue, like especially with Shenseea, I think if you're trying something, I think I got hypocritical if I say this though. If I try it with my life, I'm not do it. But I think if you say something now work, I mean, as ChatGPT would tell me, don't come with a prayer, come with a plan. It's not all the time it's prayer. Sometimes you have to be really sensible about what you're doing. I think when they say something is not working, don't try it. So like for Shenseea, you know, she always do well in her genre.
Which is dancehall.
But once she steps out, it's okay. We're glad for you, but it's okay. You know? So
I cannot disagree because when Shenseea step out and said she want to do pop, and then you hear the songs that came out, I'm like, what? Who are you appealing to? Who is the market?
Not us, obviously.
But you cannot be singing that for their market because that's normal in their market. So who are you singing for?
But if it's normal in their market, I want to do what is normal.
No, what I mean, the acts of what she's speaking about is normal within their market, but it's not being sung in songs. So who are you singing for? Because it can't be them. Because what people love you for is for dancehall. That's what the labor hire you for. So trying to do pop now doesn't make any sense. I'm not saying you shouldn't.
Box yourself.
I'm not saying you should box yourself into dancehall. You can spread your wings and do other things. But to completely say I do 5 years and achieve everything I need to achieve, and I'm like, come on, what are you trying to say?
About growing that genre.
Because when you
and
listen
nothing
to
is wrong if it changes, it's inevitable.
Because listen to like Shaggy or Sean Paul. They sing dancehall first and their songs elevate to become popular because it outgrow the genre.
Right.
He didn't write a song and say he's doing pop. He write a song doing dancehall that explodes to be pop.
Sometimes we can't compare. Every human being is different. And I feel like that's why she's always going to give us a little stab on our back, because you're trying to confine someone that wants change. And if we say that change is something that is constant, it evolves, I should say. Telling somebody that you cannot do that because you're good at this is very hypocritical.
No, but we're not telling her she cannot.
No, we tell her. You may not tell her, but we tell her. So stick to dancehall. We tell her all the time. If a new song drop with, if she gonna do it with, she's done it with Tiger. She's done it with, not Quavo, Cardi Own. Offset.
Yeah.
She's done it with Megan Thee Stallion. She's done it with other persons, chain smokers. She's done it with, and none of them pop to the degree of how we know her. How Taraji P. Henson would know her for Shenyang Anthem. But somebody wants to do something different. And I think that we should be open to that. So if Koffee wants to come and say, hey, let me do rap, she not come and tell me say she do 5 years. So here, I mean, I throw off the towel or whatever. She's come and trying it. She a wet on the tongue. Want to tell her if she like it. We tell her if we like it or not. And if not, I would hope she listen. You know, because as me say, I feel like sometimes if you try something and it's not working out, it's something to cut the string, as much as I'm being hypocritical. You have to cut the string. So I have no issues with she.
I think that my only
doing it.
problem is we would like to see a Jamaican star
Just be Jamaican.
being Jamaican.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you have everybody else being star of their own genre. You just feel like we just want to follow down the lane of another genre and just leave ours in the dust. Because while we have Rihanna from Barbados in that culture, but she started out doing reggae. Well, predominantly her songs were like reggae, hybrid reggae. Then you have Nicki Minaj who mixed dancehall with rap. But then we have Jamaicans who just try to be Americans. That's
I think
where
it's a money thing too.
that's where it just feel weird. I think if you try hybridize it and do the balance between it, probably work. But just to go full on into their culture, and then there are people saying that you have this fake accent and all of these things. Why are you trying to be us and we like you for that? Because I hear the chatters from overseas people. So what are you trying to do? Which market are you trying to appease?
And I think good representations from similar, very close to our culture, like Africans, the Burna Boy, what's the other?
Yeah, man, Davido and so on.
Davido and those people. They're great representations of their genre, and they don't really switch up. Even when they cross over with the international artists, you don't see a difference.
No.
But we don't know.
And you have to remember, before it was called Afrobeats, it was Afro Dancehall. Them just changed the name to Afrobeats now. And most people don't even know that it was Afro Dancehall. Because
I didn't know that.
If you ask Burna Boy, you'd say he was a dancehall artist.
Yeah, I have that album because Burna Boy is my favorite African artist. So yeah, I know. Mimic the Buju Bantans and so forth. Yeah.
So I just think we need to do better.
In terms of that.
But we'll play a quick game with you.
Yeah.
Every week we have a new game for somebody else.
Yeah.
And this game is called Red Flag or Just Jamaican.
Or Just Jamaican.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a few games, but short, quick games. So this game is, a man said, "Me soon come and reach 3 hours later." Is that a red flag or just Jamaican?
What is the man to me? What is the man to me?
I don't know your man or your friend.
Oh, no, I define. If I'm a friend, I wouldn't say that is a red flag. But if it's somebody who's trying to court me, I feel like we would think of it in 2 different realms.
All right, so just think of a man as not being your partner then.
And him saying soon come?
Yeah. And then reach 3 hours later.
Jamaican.
People busting blank at a wedding.
Wedding? I don't know. That's a red flag. That's weird. That's weird.
So the second game is if Jannel run dancehall. That's the name of the game. If Jannel run dancehall.
Okay.
So what would she ban immediately?
Shoot. Because I don't want to take out bad word. Not yet. I don't really want 100% take out violence. Because I think it sends a message to in the same breath. It's 50-50. Police, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, that 3 o'clock lock off something.
Alright. What artist would she make do a collab that hasn't happened yet?
Who do I want to see? A Masicka and a Nicki Minaj or a Cardi B.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
What old school song would you bring back into rotation?
For me, it has to be anything Vibes Cartel and Movado from 2008, 2007, 2008. Yeah, that era.
Gully
Yeah.
Gaza era. And the last game is called Soundtrack of Your Life. The song that gets you hyped.
Right now, God is the greatest. Vibes Cartel.
The one she cries to.
I don't remember the name of it right now. But I think anything with Maverick City right now.
Maverick.
That's the Christian group.
Okay.
Yeah.
A song that reminds you of your childhood.
What would that be? That's a hard one. Something Katy Perry? Something Katy Perry.
Katy Perry is a childhood?
Yeah, Katy Perry like first form for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dark Horse.
Yeah, I think something Katy Perry.
One song you'd perform at a karaoke.
Anything Masicka. Any single thing Masicka. I know those word for word, line for line. Anything Masicka. But I think I had two viral moments, and it's Masicka, and that is Tyrant and 20matic.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely sing those at karaoke.
All right, so Jannel,
Yes.
it was really nice having you on set.
Thank you.
So before we end the show, we have to give the quote of the day.
Okay.
And the quote of the day is, do not look back on happiness or dream of it in the future. You are only short of today. Do not let yourself be cheated out of it.
That's a good one, because I like to walk with that, drive home with that right now.
So that one was especially for you though.
Oh God, I needed it. I needed it.
Because when I was scrolling through, I'm like, which quote would fit Jannel most? I'm like, she didn't want to start her own podcast, so I think this one needs to be hers.
Yeah. I hope when I start it, guys, you come over.
But Jannel, me there, ne? You can just call me.
Call him, I can come set up the show.
So yeah, man, so thank you for being on set.
Thank you for having
me. And I wish you all the luck on The Truth is Real on the next podcast.
Oh yes, Roman Reason.
Yes.
That is something that I think it's going to be a baby for The Truth is Real team. Mm-hmm. We hear the chatter of how similar it is to other podcasts out there. We hear. Mm-hmm. But they wanted, because what we realized with podcasts, as I said before, putting and the sensitive culture kind of thing, we really want for a reason where look upon us from a scope of a Deion Jackson Miller, a Sim Soul session kind of vibe, Simone Cooper kind of vibe. We want for them like they want rum bar, and everybody just attack them mind and just be themselves. Nobody now look down upon them. Everybody just speak their own opinion, and that is what we wanted in the space. And I think that it will honestly do well. Maybe even do better than Truth is Real because of the unfilteredness and the multiple personalities that will come on board from time to time. So we're in the pilot stage of it, and so far the first episode did well. So that is very good, and we're looking to either let it be a bi-weekly thing or a monthly thing, but wetting up the person's taste, but it looked good so far, so it seemed like it can. But it's not easy to get people to come and be multiple personalities. But yeah. So I'm excited. So persons, watch The Truth is Real with me and Walk and Talk, and also Roman Reason with me and Walk and Talk as well. But we have other personalities that will come from time to time.
All right. Thank you, Jannel. And guys, see you next week on another podcast with me, Chad, your host. We out.
Yeah, goodbye.
Open Chxt Podcast.